Basketball is a team sport in which two teams, commonly made up of 5 players each, oppose one another on a rectangular court. They compete through the primary objective of shooting a basketball through the defender's hoop while preventing the opposing team from shooting through their own hoop. Basketball was invented in 1891 by Dr. James Naismith. He was a Canadian physical education student and an instructor with the YMCA training school. He had the idea for a new sport and began to write down some basic rules and nailed 2 beach baskets onto an indoor balcony in a gym. The beach baskets had no hole at the bottom, so every time the ball went into them, it had to be removed manually. Soon, a hole was drilled into the bottom of the basket to enable the ball to be pushed out using a stick. However, this variation soon developed into the basketball nets that we see today. At that time, the ball used for the game was a soccer ball, but this was later replaced with a harder, grippier ball. This game began to be called basketball and was enjoyed by many. Basketball gained much traction during the mid-1900s. In 1938, an international organization of basketball was created, and basketball was a featured sport in the 1939 Berlin Olympics. In the late 1940s, the NBA was created and is now the most significant basketball association in the terms of popularity, competitiveness, salaries, and talent. Now basketball has become a worldwide game. It has become the second most popular sport in the world. The playing style of the game has also changed drastically over the years. Currently, the three-point shot has taken over the game with influence from superstars such as Stephen Curry and Damian Lillard. All around the world, three-pointers are being used more often than ever. Players have transitioned from using centers, or bigs, to score to using guards and forwards. Bounce. Basketballs bounce because of the pressurized air inside of them. This is represented through gravity and Newton's laws of motion. When you dribble a basketball, your hand and gravity both push the ball towards the ground, which is represented through Newton's first law. The energy in the compressed air is transferred back to the ball, pushing it back into motion. Layup. Beginner players often miss their layups because they tend to push the ball forwards towards the hoop, but a trained player knows to throw the ball up instead. The player's forward speed is added to the ball speed, and if they don't account for this, they'll miss the shot. Similarly, if a player moves from left to right while shooting, and aims for the center of the rim, the ball will go over the rim and miss the hoop. To make any moving shot, players need to correctly account for how their speed is added to the ball speed. In the days before Galileo, Aristotle believed that the natural state for things was to be at rest, and that objects could only move if something kept pushing them. But Galileo had the right idea. He introduced to us the concept of inertia. The idea is that objects in the absence of any force will keep their original speed and direction. The natural state for an object isn't rest, it's to keep moving at a constant velocity. Galileo's concept proves that when you let go of a ball during a layup, it continues to move with your forward speed. Shooting. Basketball players are trained to shoot from their fingertips, not from their palms. This makes the ball easier to grip, but more importantly, a shot from the fingertips is automatically launched with backspin. A law of physics known as the conservation of angular momentum ensures that the ball will keep spinning at the same rate once it leaves the player's hands. But why is a backspin helpful for a shooter? The motion of the ball is now the sum of 2 different motions: the speed with which the center of the ball is flying through the air and the spinning motion around the center. Adding those together, we find that the bottom of the ball is now moving faster than before. When the bottom of the ball strikes the rim, the collision occurs with greater speed than before. The ball experiences more friction, resulting in a greater loss of energy, and slowing the ball down more than before. From the player's perspective, a slower ball near the hoop is a good thing, because it's more likely to bounce into the hoop.